This very video in the last few hours has been trending with the speed of light. I'm not gonna feel like give you. Me personally, the content of this video you're about to see shortly, it shocked me. Popular Islamic scholar and cleric Sheikh Gumi, who had at some point in this country, Nigeria, intervened or acted as a middleman between some group of bandits, terrorists, and the federal government of Nigeria, as well as state government in the northern part of Nigeria, trying to make peace with terrorists and bandits. This Islamic scholar, who was at some point also deported from Saudi Arabia for some unclear reasons, which he himself admitted that possibly it would have been due to his world views on political issues and religious matters combined together. It was on getting to Medina, precisely at Prince Mohammed Abdulaziz International Airport, that his deportation took place after he got into Saudi Arabia to perform the yearly Hajj. Unfortunately, he was sent back to Nigeria. This learned and popular Islamic cleric has maintained in this video, calling on the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the government of the United States of America, the administration of Donald J. Trump, that he doesn't think that the American soldiers can defeat Boko Haram and the bandits in Nigeria, that the bandits are even more vicious, more dangerous than the Boko Haram, that the best thing is to have a dialogue, have a negotiation with this group of bandits and Boko boys in order that peace may reign, and at the end of the day, reintegrate them into the society so that they can become better persons for themselves, to the society, and to their families. In fact, make una calm down, listen to Sheikh Gumi.
If it's China coming to say that, people will believe it, because China is not nosing into our internal affairs. If it's Russians, people will believe them. But America are not to be liars. They said Saddam Hussein has new weapons of mass destruction, and there is none. And they have caused confusion in Iraq, in Libya, and everywhere. So when they said Muslims are killing, or there is massacre of Muslims, like Christians in Nigeria, from which side? They didn't specify whether it is the government or whether it is the Muslims that are doing it, or even if Christians are targeted. Whatever it is, if Americans can cure and eliminate the terrorists, I will welcome it myself. But I know they cannot.
Okay, when you say they cannot,
let me tell you.
Okay.
They have fought 20 years in Afghanistan. They could not finish them. Afghanistan is in Syria now. This same thing. And this terrorist you see, it's not easy to just come and drop bombs here and there and think you finish them. They have infiltrated the society, so it's going to cause more damage. More Muslims and more Christians will be killed if America would drop a bomb in Nigeria. I'm telling you this. You can take it for a record. So what we are trying to avoid, we are going to even compound it. Look, myself, I have been trying to see how we can pacify these people. I've been going to see how we can pacify these people and redirect them, because they are human beings. They listen and reason. But if you say you want to use force against force, then you will compound the problem and make the thing dirty. If Nigerian army, which has been very active in many hotspots, cannot deal with this issue for 18 years, for 15 years with Boko Haram, and now the bandits, and to me, the bandits are even more vicious, because
you said something about Nigerian army not being able to do something about it for some time now. You have been the person, or rather, news have actually carried it, that you more like mediate or serve as an intermediary between them and the government, and that actually has sparked quite reaction among Nigerians. What can you tell us to be, some of the good points or flash points of your, interaction or discussion with them, especially when you had to get into the bush? Because the other time we're talking about giving them amnesty and all that. Yes.
You see, just to entice them to leave their weapons. You see, one thing good about it is, you see, you don't treat a disease without diagnosis. If a doctor can diagnose a disease, even if it's cancer, he will know how to manage it. So the good thing about it is, now before we are fighting a phantom, we don't know know something is fighting us, coming to take us. We don't know that person. Now, by going to talk with them and sit down with them and to hear their grievances and understand their psychology, so we are able now to contain the problem. Now, Kaduna is relatively safe. I can say from you don't hear any more mass killings now in Kaduna because we understand their psychology and the governor is cooperating. We are talking to them and they are keeping their weapons. They are not fighting. They're still on the weapons. They hold the weapons. But you see, this is a small, gradual process in which slowly we will civilize them. We'll take away their weapons and let them into good citizens. So this is it. It has to be systemic. But for America to come and start bombing in northern Nigeria, I'm telling you.
Well, if I tell you, say I know they confused for inside this country, and I lie. Yes, sometimes I get confused. You know, you can tell clearly that I'm one of the voices that supports Americans' intervention in the current insecurity in Nigeria. The reason is very simple. We've been living among rascals as political office holders in Nigeria. You see what is going on today? You see all the reports coming out from the military, from the soldiers. Every couple of hours now, they are giving us information about their operations. How many kidnapped victims they are rescuing. How many, activities of Boko Haram, the bandits, they are thwarting. How many of them they have arrested and taken into custody. You now begin to ask, what has changed? What has happened? Why do we now have a heightened or an elevated, military activity coming from the Nigerian army within the last 2 to 3 days? I am not saying that Nigerian soldiers have not been performing. They have been doing precisely their best in the last years of fighting insurgency in Nigeria. But something common sense will tell you that as a result of the interference of Donald J. Trump and so many leaders from different parts of the world are speaking out, then it looks as if that the government of the day is trying to sit well, either to impress Nigerians or to impress America or to impress the world at large, that they are doing something suddenly. Now, why all of this is going on? Here is an Islamic cleric telling the world or telling Nigerians that negotiation with bandits is what is going to solve the problem of Nigeria. I think he cited Kaduna as an example, that currently we do not have too much crisis in Kaduna. But common sense will also tell you that when you sign a peace deal with a bandit in Kaduna, that same bandit will go to Sokoto and begin to operate. If you run to Sokoto and sign a peace deal with a bandit will run from Sokoto and go to Yobe and begin to act. If at the end of the day, you make a peace deal with all the 33, all the 36 states, because they don't have a job, because they believe that we are jokers, they will indiscriminately begin their activities again, because that is the only way they feed or they fend for themselves and for their families. And then the cycle will be repeated. So, common sense will tell you that when you begin to stoop too low, constantly making this type of negotiation, peace deals and all of that, you are simply going to repeat the cycle. Because younger people are also growing up, seeing how lucrative banditry and terrorism has become. They will join the gang. And by joining the gang, they are also expecting to earn some salaries, earn some fortune, earn some money through peace deals and through negotiation. So when you have paid the bigger paymasters, them will also go and indiscriminately carry out their own wicked activities and mayhem on human beings. And then you begin to look for them again for another peace deal, because they will change their name and answer a new name so that you can recognize them. No society will ever thrive in such a trajectory of peacemaking. No society will ever thrive. Somebody was asking a question. Why did these terrorists and these bandits, why are they not in Ghana? Why are they not in Cotonou? Why are they not in these our neighboring countries? Why Nigeria? And I also asked a question. I said, if you go to Saudi Arabia today, they are already living beyond and above religious fanaticism, because religious fanaticism breeds radicalism. It leads to extremism, which breeds radicalism. That is why today, Saudi Arabia is peaceful. That is the country where most Islamic religious believers go for their pilgrimage every year. Yet, some of the policies and laws they are implementing and rolling out, some of those countries that are coming in for those pilgrimages cannot roll such policies in their own countries because they claim that they know God more than Saudi Arabia. I have said it before and I'm still saying it again. Any country that continues to hide under religious belief system to commit the highest form of abomination and highest form of man inhumanity to man, that country will continue to be in perpetual crisis and turmoil. Yes, because you are fighting a lost battle. You want to fight for God that created you, God that you claim that is almighty and supreme. Who are you now to fight for your God if your God cannot fight for you? Common sense shows it is almost meaningless. So, what Sheikh Gumi is saying here is that America should come and join forces with Nigerian government and go and negotiate with the bandits, negotiate with Boko Haram, negotiate with ISWAP so that there will be peace in Nigeria. Well, Nigerians, I will allow you guys to be the judge. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section and share this video. Man, another person see him. God bless you.